My girlfriend wanted an open relationship, so I broke up with her. Now she wants to get back together.
That's too damn bad!
This was originally posted in relationship advice. I, 23 male, was dating my ex, 23 female, up until a month ago. We were together for 4 years before that. So before we broke up, she was acting distant for a good month. Then as of last month, she sat me down and asked for an open relationship. The minute those words came out of her mouth, I broke up with her. Yeah, that's a little gross. It's giving like I wanted to cheat and get away with it. Just saying. I came into this relationship expecting a monogamous relationship, and now she wanted to change the relationship. I only want to be with one person. If we couldn't agree on that, I saw no future. With the way she was acting before this, I can't trust her. And even if she wasn't acting shady, I wouldn't be able to trust her anyway for suggesting it. Those are some reasons I decided to break up with her, even though it might seem harsh. In my opinion, if someone wants a relationship like that, the relationship should start like that to be healthy. Not just dumped on your partner after years of monogamy. Yeah, it's giving,
I wanted my cake and to eat it too.
Now I've been getting texts and voicemails from her crying to take her back and that she didn't mean it. I feel like she got what she wanted and regrets it. I'm not sure what to think. Some people have been telling me that I acted too rash and I didn't even give us time to work it out and that it was cruel of me to do that. Is this something I acted too quick with or not? No, I agree with you. I feel like those things have to kind of be discussed before you enter a relationship. Asking someone for an open relationship like years into the relationship is just, it's giving like I want to cheat, but I don't want to lose this relationship.
You can't have it both ways.
Okay, so we do have an update. I thought I would give an update since people DM me to post one when I can. I didn't expect to update this soon though. After posting and expressing to some people that I had a suspicion she cheated on me, I couldn't get the nagging feeling out of my head. I didn't want to know at first, but decided to go digging and ask mutual friends what ex had been up to that month that she'd been acting shady. Like I always say on this channel, if you're in a relationship with someone, you're kind of seeing someone, the minute they start to kind of pull back and you feel that energy shift, there's someone else. I didn't expect one of her closest friends to spill the beans, but she did. Ooh, what kind of beans? Are we talking like beans in tomato sauce or like beans in maple syrup? Like what are we talking? What kind of beans? My suspicions were correct. She had been cheating on me with a mutual friend's cousin. Pretends to be shocked. I decided to message the guy on Facebook. When I messaged him, he wanted me to meet in person, so I met him at a local pub. When I got there, he apologized and explained everything. How he didn't know she was in a relationship, and that day she called me wanting me back is the day he found out and broke it off. There it is. There's something like kind of gross about someone wanting to cheat and like no one wanting to cheat with them. Am I wrong? Like it's kind of icky. I can't fault the guy. He seemed really genuine and really apologetic. On the plus side, I drank for free the entire time. Oh, I love a guilt drink. What I mean by that is when someone feels so guilty that they buy you drinks. He seems like a great guy, especially considering how he broke it off right away once he knew. I won't lie, he's a handsome and great guy, and I would let him... Oh, giggity goo to rub it in my ex's face, lol. Oh my goodness. Oh. At least I have a bit of closure now. I blocked my ex on everything and I'm gathering her stuff. She's left here to mail it to her so she doesn't come knocking. It's taking a lot of power not to leave a note in the box along the lines of,
Mark seems nice. Too bad you lost him too.
I mean, I wouldn't hate you if you did leave that note. It's a little petty, but it's not like too petty, you know? I feel like you don't have to like seek out a relationship with Mark, but I think it would be funny if you guys were friends. I kind of love this one. Usually the person unhappily agrees to an open relationship, suffers through the open relationship for a while, or ends up finding someone else when forced to go outside of the relationship. This guy knew himself enough to just straight up dump her upon hearing the proposal. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of stories about people who were asked for an open relationship through their partner, and then they like kind of go through with it, and then the partner ends up regretting it. Like, that's also fun, but like, why go through that, you know? The person is literally asking asking you if they can be polyamorous when that's not what you agreed to in the beginning. If there was like a discussion, like a mutual discussion, you know, like let's spice up the relationship a little bit. It seems very one-sided, the open relationship thing. So like, why?
Why?
Why put yourself through that, you know? We got some more cheating drama for you, and trust me when I say it's spicy. I, 35 male, cheated on my wife, 36 female. She left without telling me anything. How can I get her back?
That ship has sailed. And sank.
Okay. I know I'm aware of my faults. I know I screwed up. She and I had something beautiful. She's still the love of my life. We were together for 10 years, 2 dating and 8 married. But I made a huge mistake and I cheated on her. It was just once, just one damn time. Okay, let's not minimize what we did. I'm already sensing some minimization.
You complain about the life that you chose. You're not a victim.
Once is still enough. Emotional cheating is also enough for someone to get mad. Texting someone with the intent to cheat or just to see what else is out there is also enough to end a relationship. Somehow she found out. I never knew how because I haven't been able to talk to her since then. Okay, how she found out is immaterial.
Who told her? Who can't I trust?
I guess she found something on my phone. I came home that afternoon as usual, and everything felt weird. The house felt emptier. I quickly realized that her things were gone. I panicked. I started calling her over and over, but her phone didn't even ring. Ooh. Oh, she blocked you. Yeah, she blocked you. Suddenly, I saw some papers on the table. She was divorcing me. Under the divorce papers, there was a note that said, "This is what you do with cheaters." She's so strict. I love that. Not even a chance to explain. Because there is no explanation at the end of the day. Some people want to know all the details. Some people, it's kind of just like the straw that broke the camel's back. It's just kind of like, it's too far gone at that point. Like, I don't even want to hear it. I wouldn't want to go through that either. What's the point?
Once a cheater, always a cheater, right?
I haven't been able to see her or even hear her voice in 2 years. 2 years of not being able to see or talk to the person you love the most is too much of a punishment.
And whose fault is that?
You clearly didn't love her that much. The situation has destroyed me emotionally, mentally, and even physically. I ended up consuming an unhealthy amount of alcohol, weeks of barely eating, not sleeping. I was a zombie for months. I was just functioning on automatic. I wanted to die, but I couldn't let myself die because I always held on to hope that she would come back. My therapist says it's really hard when you can't get closure from a relationship because your mind can't process that the relationship is over. So you're always thinking that person will knock on the door or that you'll wake up from sleep and they'll be by your side. But like, her leaving and the divorce was the closure, you know? Her having that conversation with you is just to help you. She's over it. That's your closure. The divorce was finalized over a year ago, and I'll be honest, I didn't make it easy. I didn't want to get divorced, and I still don't understand how we can be divorced.
You can't be serious.
I'm sorry, you don't understand? How do you not understand? No capito? You go like this? She go like this. Bye-bye. I asked for couples therapy, but she refused. I know from my lawyer that her lawyer advised her to go at least once or twice, but she refused.
She's a woman who knows what she wants.
It took quite a while, but eventually the divorce happened. I can't even describe the feeling I felt and still feel like a piece of me had been cut out. I know I hurt her, I know I failed, but I think we all deserve a second chance. I mean, I think you deserve second chances when it comes to like little things. People who give second chances oftentimes regret it. And maybe that was just like one thing that she was just not gonna budge on, and she has the right to do that. When I couldn't take the pain anymore, I decided to start therapy. My therapist doesn't give me advice to get her back. He only focuses on me moving on with my life, encouraging me to meet new people and go out on dates. But I don't want to. At this point, I'm not even interested in giggity-gooing anymore.
You should listen to him.
I think your therapist is quite in tune with the fact that this is over. Your relationship is over. The best thing that you can hope for right now is to take the lessons you've learned into the next relationship and don't do it again. A few days ago, something happened that completely shattered me. I was having a few beers with my friend at my house. Let's call him Nick. We were both pretty drunk. I started talking about my wife.
She's not your wife anymore!
And then he said to me, you should put more effort into getting over her. She's over you and having a happy life away from you. You should do the same. You can't live in this self-pity all your life. So even your friends are telling you. Something in his words hit me, but not the way he expected. He spoke with a lot of confidence that my wife is over me and happy now. Yeah, I mean, it's been 2 years. Like, how does he know that? At this point, I got angry and started pressuring him to talk. He refused. I pressed as hard as I could. I cried. I begged him to tell me if he knew something. Yeah, she's with someone else. I wouldn't be surprised if she was either in a relationship with someone else or if she's already married. I needed to know something about her until he finally told me. His wife has been in contact with my wife for the last year.
She's not your wife.
They were great friends, and I remember Sabrina, my friend's wife, being very sad about losing contact with my wife. The thing is that my wife went to live in Norway, got married to a guy there, and is about 7 months pregnant. Oh, wow. Oh, good for her. I love this for her. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like she did the healthiest thing for her, and she moved on. And she found a guy that was willing to give her everything she wanted. Like, you're saying that you were with this person for 10 years, married for 8 years. You guys don't have kids? I felt like dying. I literally felt like dying with this information. How could she do this to me?
Now you know how it feels.
You're not together anymore. What do you expect her to just whine and cry about you for the rest of her life? How could it be that while I was crying, getting drunk, missing her, and wanting to die every day, she was happily on the other side of the world, getting married and getting pregnant by another guy? Well, you were divorced, so you should have also been doing that. How could it be that she didn't have a child with me in many, many years, to the point where I thought she was infertile, but she got pregnant by this new guy so easily? Okay, I guess that answers that. Where did this guy come from? I have no answers for absolutely anything, and I feel like I can't go on with my life without these answers. The only thing I can think of is that she had revenge giggity goo with the first Norwegian guy she came across and got pregnant and decided to keep the baby.
Oh my God, get over yourself.
I mean, 2 years is a long time. That's plenty of time to meet someone who actually, like, she's probably a catch, realistically. Like, she's strict. She ended the relationship when she knew that that was not what she wanted, and she moved on. A person like that is gonna sift through the bad stuff quite quickly and find the right guy.
I know what I want.
Anyone with boundaries like that is going to get to the good stuff real quick. It's interesting that you, like, think the worst of her because you are the worst. Maybe she got married because she wanted to stay in the country legally, and I guess, like in most countries, getting married is a good option for that. I don't know. These thoughts are killing me. It's none of your business, dude. If this is ever a sign for you to, like, give up and start over, even if she did take you back, she would never be able to trust you again fully. This is a chance for a fresh start for you to learn the lessons that you needed to learn and not do that to the next person. I refuse to think that she's in love with him. I need to contact her. I need to talk to her. I need to know what's going on. Please don't. Because she acts like our 10-year history and 8-year marriage is nothing to her.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
If anyone acted like your 10-year history and 8-year marriage was nothing, it's you. She has the right to move on. I need advice on how to act. I feel the impulse of travel to where she is and look for her, but how could I do that?
Don't do that.
I think this is just like hurting you in the end. You get your just desserts. I personally think that you should take this as a sign to really move on. You say that you need closure, but it still seems to me like you're jealous that she's moved on. You're kind of demanding the respect, and I say that like loosely, of getting the closure. But you kind of lost the privilege of that. You could try reaching out to her, but don't expect a response. I don't know what city she's in. I don't know where she lives. I don't have a contact number. She closed her social media. Her family's small. Ooh, yeah, no. I don't know what to do at this point. I still want her back. Yes, even pregnant. See, I feel like this is a nightmare and I need to wake up now. Okay, no. She moved far away from you for a reason. She doesn't want to see you. Okay, so a little edit from OP. I read almost all the comments, and when I say almost all, I really mean almost all. It's hard to process all the crap that's been said about me. I feel like you guys forget that you're talking to a person, not an inanimate object. I think you know the answer as to why. Cheating is like a horrible thing to do to someone, and the fact that you don't realize how horrible it is like kind of messed up. I thought I might find more empathy by sharing my story here. Just two people feeling empathy toward me, and their comment made me feel better. I'm not looking for validation or for anyone to say that what I did is okay. I know it's not, and I have to live with that daily. I will try to respond, but of course I'll never be able to respond to all the comments. I guess none of you know what it's like to have a broken heart and not be able to get over a person. Again, let's not play the victim here. If anyone had a broken heart in this situation, it was your wife. You're getting the consequences of your actions, but like, let's not forget what we did to deserve that broken heart.
Cheetah! Oh, come on. Cheetah!
Everyone assumes she's happy now. I don't know. I mean, how do you know? I haven't seen her in 2 years. I can't have any idea if she's happier or not. It's none of your business, dude. Being pregnant doesn't mean she's happy, and neither does being married. We really don't know the circumstances of this marriage. Okay, it's giving obsessed. Maybe she got married because she got pregnant and felt alone in a country where she has no one and she is just holding on to the other guy. Of course, I blame myself for this. This wouldn't have happened if I had been a better person or a better husband to her. But unfortunately, I can't change what I did wrong. The only thing I could do is try to make it up to her, but how do you make it up to someone who doesn't want to give you the chance to do so? You don't. Some people said she doesn't owe me a second chance. That was hard to read, but I understand maybe she doesn't have to. OP answered some comments. I want to know who you cheated on her with. It was a random woman that used to go to the same gym. Nothing important. It didn't mean anything, not for a second. I was just being an idiot. Okay, so it didn't mean anything to you, but it did mean something to your ex. If only half the people on Reddit had the self-respect your ex-wife has. And that's what I said about her having boundaries. Like, having boundaries also means having self-respect. Having self-respect led her to finding someone who does respect her. OOP responds, I don't blame her. I understand the pain I caused her, but I also think there are many couples who go through this and move on, especially when it was just one time.
Are you starting to get it now?
Nope.
To kind of like just allow people to have a second chance. I think more often than not, people make you regret giving them a second chance. And this was one hill that she was willing to die on. And maybe that's why you cheated. Maybe you thought that it would never be this bad. Anyone who's watching this, who's ever thought about cheating,
Don't.
take this as a sign. It might not mean anything to you, but like, it does mean something to the people that you cheat on. So same post 2 days later. Regarding the update, the first thing I will say is that the post reached some people in my circle. Sabrina's sister is on Reddit and she knows the story and realized it was me. She told Sabrina. Sabrina is angry at Nick for revealing information. Nick is angry at me for posting on Reddit, and because he says I pressured him to talk. I am angry at both of them for just being two a-holes who watched me suffer for 2 years and decided not to help me. Help you what? It's over, dude. They didn't care about my marriage. Why should I care about their marriage? Sabrina could have given me my ex-wife's phone number a long time ago, but she decided to prioritize her friendship with my ex instead of helping two friends mend their marriage.
This whole thing, all of this, it's all about me.
Okay, this is exactly why she didn't give you the number. You're being kind of weird, man. I wouldn't want to give you a number either. Meanwhile, no one cared about my feelings. I'm done with them at this point. Okay, again, you're victimizing yourself here. These are the consequences of your actions. OP kind of goes on to say that he's like cyber stalking now. Found a picture of his ex dressed as a bride, hugging a guy. If by any chance this post reaches my ex, I want you to know I still love you. You know where to contact me. If by any chance this post reaches the new dude, I want you to know the only reason you have a chance with this woman is because a big idiot halfway across the world completely ruined it. You most probably met a woman who was probably very broken from her divorce. You took advantage of her situation and trapped her with a baby. You don't know how to play fair. Sabrina and Nick, F you. Okay. I think that we should be listening to everyone in your life, including your therapist and including all the people on Reddit. Stop obsessing. It's over. Take what you learned from this experience and never do it again. Don't know what else to tell you. I'm not giving this guy any more airtime. My female 24 boyfriend, male 27, cheated on me. And my friends and family say I should forgive him. We've been together for 4 years, and I honestly thought we were perfect for each other. A few days after our first date, I broke my leg and tried to end things, thinking it wasn't the right time. But he insisted on staying by my side, driving me around when I needed a ride and helping me through that difficult time. From that moment, I knew he was special. He always had been reliable, caring, and someone I could trust completely. We've always gotten along so well. We believed we were best friends and soulmates. We talked about our future, and I was so happy thinking he was my forever. While I was on a family vacation, my iPad broke, so I borrowed his. One night, As I was trying to sleep, the screen lit up with an iMessage notification. It was from one of his female friends, and I realized he deleted their previous messages. My heart sank. Then I saw her text. She missed him and wanted to hook up again. He responded by telling her to politely not text him anymore. I was in complete shock. This felt so out of nowhere. We've been happy, everything was going well, why would he do this? I've never once doubted him, never imagined he was capable of something like this. Instead of enjoying my holiday, I spent it feeling broken, confused, and consumed by the thought of how this could have happened. Like, genuinely how? Looking back, thinking, where did I mess up? Let's not blame ourselves here. Sometimes people are just greedy. When I came back, I met up with him. He looked disheveled, skinnier than usual. He had dark circles. I hoped he would confess, but he acted completely normal, loving, affectionate, just like always. I felt sick knowing he had touched another woman, knowing this man who'd always been so good-hearted and caring had cheated on me. It was unbelievable. He asked me to stay over, but I made an excuse saying I wasn't feeling well. And the worst part, he immediately worried about me, checked my temperature, asking how he could help, offering medication, still being the same caring man. It's kind of like that theory where when a man gets you a really nice gift, it's like a cheating gift. We don't want to have to second guess when our partners are nice to us, but sometimes, not always, the behavior of them going over and above is masking something else. They're overcompensating for something and not what you think. He's still the sweet, kind person I've always known, which makes it harder to process. Even if I still love him, I still feel disgusted and heartbroken. The whole interaction made me confused and unsettled, so I left. On Thursday, I told him I wanted to talk. When we met, I told him I knew about the cheating. He broke down crying, something I've never seen him do. He apologized over and over, saying it was a mistake, that he never meant to hurt me, and the guilt has been eating him up. He didn't know how to tell me. He told me he hasn't been able to sleep or eat since it happened. He admitted that she came on to him and he was weak and gave in, regretting it afterwards. He said since then, she's been harassing him to sleep with her again. He didn't know how to tell me. I forgot to mention he was drinking and under the influence when he said weak. The whole thing was so uncomfortable. I've never seen him break down like that, and he's the one who cheated on me. This confused me further. I hated seeing him this way, so I told him I needed some time to think about it. I reached out to my friends for advice, and they were all just as shocked as I was. They couldn't believe it and kept saying he's not the type to cheat, that he must have made a mistake, and that I should forgive him because he's the first guy to make me truly happy, and how they think we can get over this. They all had an excuse for him. I mean, is he that great of a guy if he was willing to do that? Is being drunk an excuse for that?
Nope.
You could give him a second chance, but I also just genuinely feel like you're never going to be able to trust him again. And honestly, kind of shame on your family and friends. If I found out that someone cheated on my friend, I'd be like,
Parking lot. After school. It's on.
When I talked to my mom, she was shocked too. But then she said, you know how men are. He loves you. He deserves a second chance.
Huh?
This is coming from a place where it used to be something that people forgave. You know, it was very common for historically for men to have multiple partners, to have mistresses and all these other things. That isn't necessarily the case anymore, but that kind of mentality is bleeding into the current generation. It's not an excuse. My dad, who sees him as a son, also agreed and said he's a good guy and it was probably the woman's fault for tempting him. This is a very old way of thinking. We know for sure that this is not the case anymore. I didn't even know what to say to that. My entire family and closest friends are telling me to forgive him, but he cheated on me. How do I move past that? It feels like no one is acknowledging my pain. I love him, but I'm also disgusted. What if I do forgive him? Can people really move on from this? What if he cheats again? What happened to once a cheater, always a cheater? I don't know how we can move on from this. I need a fresh perspective from people who don't already adore him. What would you do in my situation? I feel mentally low and alone in this. Yeah, I get how you feel, and it sucks that no one is kind of acknowledging your pain. I'm sure they liked him a lot, but at the same time, if he could really let himself do this, is he as great of a guy as everybody thought? Probably not. You could get all the information. You could try contacting the girl, ask what really happened. Is it true that she came on to him, or was it mutual? Then again, she could also lie and tell you things that aren't true. Maybe get a full picture. I think that you need to go with your gut and not listen to advice from other people. If this is something that you genuinely feel like you would never be able to get over, then it's not worth pursuing anymore. It is not your responsibility to fix something you didn't break. That part. He broke your trust, slept with someone else and didn't confess. You found out. There you go.
Validation. Feels so good.
When someone cheats, it's not just like one mistake, right? It is like a series of mistakes and breaking the trust. Lying, going behind people's backs, like different types of betrayal. All these like little things, but these are conscious choices that someone is making, conscious mistakes that people are making over and over and over again. And with the case of this guy, she found out on her own. He had to like confess once she confronted him about it. Same with the guy that's, you know, we talked about in the last story. She found out. He never admitted to it. So these are conscious decisions that people are making to betray your trust and go behind your back. It's not just like a one mistake. There are several mistakes, several betrayals that get us to this point where someone cheats. It is not unreasonable to want to be with someone who treats you with respect. If he truly respected and loved you, he would never have been able to cheat on you. If you stay, it will eat at your self-esteem and the trust is broken. You never truly trust him again and it will turn you into a jealous and untrusting girlfriend. Yeah, that part too. You will obviously have trust issues now. You probably take it into the next relationship realistically. I think that there's also something to be said for if this is something that he has found out that you are willing to forgive, I feel like he will have no reason not to do it again.
Oh, like she forgave me once. This is obviously a passable offense.
I feel like it'll make him lose even more respect for you. No one wants to be that, but that is who he will turn you into. Personally, I couldn't ever forgive a cheater. Once a cheater, always a cheater. He's weak. He gave in to a friend hitting on him. He will give in again. And you guys aren't even married yet. You know, like marriage is great, but like, you know, if I'm not mistaken, it gets to a point sometimes where the marriage gets a little boring. People are seeking excitement and you have to consciously water that lawn, the like relationship marriage lawn, to like not want to like seek outside validation. So if he's willing to cheat before there's ever a marriage, I don't really think there's much stopping him from cheating when there is a marriage. He didn't make a mistake, he made a choice. Cheating is a choice. I think everybody is kind of like very pro break up with him in these comments. It's very sad that your family is not on your side, nor is acknowledging your pain. Partially, it's coming from a place of like, maybe cheating wasn't that big of a deal. Your entire family and closest friends are telling me to forgive him. I mean, it's kind of messed up. I'm not your friend or your family, but I'm telling you that it's not worth it. You have no kids, you're not married, you don't have to go through divorce proceedings. Just find someone who wouldn't do that. And they exist, by the way. Subscribe! My coworker thinks she's my boss, but we have the same job. I swear, my coworker Alicia has a secret job title, and it's my unofficial, unwanted micromanager.
Today, smoking is gonna save lives.
We have the exact same role, we report to the same person, we have the same responsibilities. Yet somehow, in her mind, she is my direct supervisor. She's like that one kid in group projects who doesn't do anything but insists on writing their name in bold on the cover page. Oh gosh, spare me, please, spare me. It is a daily thing. Our actual manager will assign me a task, and 5 minutes later, I'll get a message from Alicia.
Hey, just checking in on the report for Mark.
Our boss.
Let me know if you need to review it before you send it.
She never offers to help, only to review. Okay, no, that group project analogy is definitely, it definitely works here. Where does Alicia find the audacity? Oh, that's bizarre. How bizarre? How bizarre? So last week in a team meeting, our boss assigned me a project. She immediately chimed in with,
"Great. And can you make sure to send me the draft by end of day Wednesday? I want to give it a once over before it goes up the chain."
She said this in front of everyone, including our actual boss, who just kind of blinked.
That would have been whack to me.
You know, it's actually funny. I actually dealt with this similar scenario with 2 people who used to work for me. And it was always really weird because I was assigning them things and they were always equals. Yet one of them kind of assumed the role of manager and would like boss the other employee around. And it was a very awkward thing to witness. Very awkward.
This isn't awkward at all.
There were a couple of times where I had to be like,
Yo, that's not like the structure here.
The audacity to automatically assume that you are the manager or the project manager of a specific project or role. Some people say fake it till you make it. I say, where does one find the audacity? Okay, so let me get this straight. She doesn't offer to help, only to supervise. So basically she's free trailing a manager role with none of the authority and all of the audacity. Got it. I'm a non-confrontational person, so I usually just say, okay, thanks. But inside, I'm screaming. The breaking point was this morning. She walked over to my desk, pointed at my screen and said,
You should really format that data differently. Just stop what you're doing and I'll send you the template I use. It's much better.
Ew.
I'm actually surprised to know that she does anything. Does she? I just looked at her. I don't work for you. We are peers. I am so tired of having to manage her attempts to manage me. It's like having two bosses, but I only get paid for one. And similarly, she's also assuming the role of your boss, but not really getting paid for it either.
And I'm doing it just for the money, and it's not even a lot of money.
If she's not doing any of the work and all she does is boss people around, I suppose that's probably a better deal for her. But still, has anyone else dealt with a shadow manager on their team? How do you get them to back off without making it a huge HR issue? I forget how I dealt with it. How did I deal with it? I think I pulled the employee that was kind of getting thrown under the bus aside, and I was just listen, I'm not really sure why she's doing this, but just so you know, you're both on the same level playing field. And it was for a project that wasn't very long, and I was just you don't have to work with her again. Honestly, I'm probably not gonna hire her again. So in hindsight, I realistically should have done more, but it was kind of funny at that point, you know? Y'all really need to learn how to speak up and stand up for yourselves. I mean, yeah, in this situation, I feel like you could be standing up for yourself a little bit more. Instead of just blinking and telling Reddit, you could just be honest and be
Okay, sorry. I'm misunderstanding where you're coming from here. I believe that we both have the same role, correct?
I had a coworker who acted like this, and about the second week she persisted with it. I said, we're peers, Jennifer. Yeah. Why are you acting like I work for you? This is weird. Honestly, a really good word that you can have in your pocket to make people feel strange when they're acting strange, you just call them weird.
That's weird.
Weird.
Okay, this is weird. I'm sorry, this is a bit weird. Works every time. She got kind of snippy and had to be reminded periodically, but I just kept doing it. She claimed that because I was so young, she forgot I had the same job title as she had. To this day, she remains the worst engineer I've ever met in my life. See, this is the thing. The person that I know that's like this also doesn't have much to back it up. You know, I'm always of the opinion that if you want to take on the role of a manager or you want to run your own business, you need to be able to do everyone's job. Your role is not to boss people around. Maybe it could get to that point where you're delegating and giving tasks out. But if that person goes away on vacation or that person is sick, you need to be able to step in and do that person's job.
With great power comes great responsibility.
I have met a lot of people like this, and most of the time, they don't have two legs to stand on. They want the role of manager without the experience or the know-how. I digress. The point is, keep reminding the person that they're not your boss and they will stop. Yeah, and maybe also talk to your boss about it if it's making you super uncomfortable. All right, so we do have an update, and it's very satisfying. I'll just say that.
Wholesome, satisfying. Perfect.
So a couple of weeks ago, I posted about my coworker Alicia, who decided to make herself my unofficial boss, even though we're on the exact same level. Since then, things have definitely escalated. Do tell. The last straw was when our manager gave me a 2-week project. Not even 10 minutes later, Alicia messaged me saying,
Can you send me progress updates every couple of days so I can make sure it's on track?
That was the moment I realized I couldn't keep letting this slide. Instead of confronting her directly, I tried an experiment. Ooh. I ignored her check-ins completely and only sent updates to our actual manager when they were due. And nothing bad happened. No one cared, the work got done, and life moved on. Then came the team meeting. Okay, so you went over her head. Got it. As expected, Alicia jumped in with her usual line,
I'll review it before it goes up the chain.
This time I spoke up and said thanks, but Mark already approved the draft, and looked at our boss while saying it. His reaction was priceless. It was like he suddenly realized what had been happening all along. After the meeting, he pulled me aside and actually apologized. He told me to always send work directly to him, and he said he'd speak to Alicia. Since then, I haven't gotten a single unsolicited review request. She still has that same bossy energy, but at least she's not breathing down my neck anymore. I feel a little guilty about not addressing it with her face to face, but honestly, it's not my job to manage her behavior. It's really not.
I don't know what your problem is, but you need to solve it now.
She didn't seem to feel guilty when it came to micromanaging you, even though that's not her role. Like, that is her way of saying, without saying, that she thinks she's better than you.
We're better than you, and we know it.
Or more experienced, or more talented, or she has assumed the role of better than you without someone actually giving it to her. Right now, things feel lighter, and I can finally focus without feeling like someone's peeking over my shoulder. And the irony is that like that kind of boss, like a micromanaging boss, is like the worst kind of boss.
Shut up.
It's literally the worst kind of boss. Because like, as someone who's had a micromanager for a boss before, you spend more time worrying about their micromanaging than you do actually being productive.
Fact.
So I'm torn. Do I just enjoy the peace and leave it alone? Or should I have an actual conversation with her in case she tries creeping back into shadow manager role or mode? I don't think much more needs to be said, honestly. I feel like you kind of wait until things progress. And if she is making your life really difficult, then maybe you should have a conversation with her. I certainly don't think at this point she deserves the respect of having like an air clearing conversation. I think she was put in her place. But like, let's see how things pan out. Might be a little awkward, for sure. But let's not people please anymore, okay? She was put in her place. We don't need to over communicate, you know? I am also an over communicator, and it's not good. And like, as of right now, I feel like she doesn't necessarily know that you went to your boss or like you had a conversation with your boss. It could be something that your boss, you could play it off as, just saw and didn't like. I wouldn't put yourself in the line of fire. You know what I mean? Because as of right now, it could be just the boss that feels this way, not you. So a lot of people in the comments agree addressing it with her might escalate the situation. It also is gonna put you in the line of fire because you went and told her boss what she was doing. And she seems like the type of person that might be unnecessarily petty in that scenario. And I think as of right now, like, you're kind of in the clear. So like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? We got some more work drama for you. We ain't done yet, honey. My boss is pretending I never gave notice. I gave my 2 weeks notice last Tuesday, handed the letter directly to my manager. I had a brief conversation about transition plans, and I thought that was that. Now she's acting like it never happened.
It's never happened.
She's still assigning me projects for next month, still scheduling me for meetings 3 weeks out. I just needed a minute with the second cam, you know what I mean? I just need a little side cam moment. Yesterday, she asked me to order business cards with my name on them. When I reminded her I'm leaving, she just said,
"We'll see about that,"
and walked away. Okay. I'm sorry, if that doesn't come with like a bonus or a raise, I feel like that's mildly threatening. You know what I mean?
We could make things very, very difficult for you.
There's literally no incentive to stay as of right now. So weird. I work in accounts payable for a small company. It's not like I'm some irreplaceable genius. Literally anyone can be trained to process invoices. But she keeps saying things like,
"You can't just abandon us during busy season.
And
we invested so much in training you."
Yeah, that's kind of the trade-off when you have a business or you're like a manager or whatever. Sometimes people leave. And yeah, you invest time in training people. Okay, like it is what it is. Be careful who you hire and be a good boss. I don't know what to tell you. If you don't want people to leave, be a good boss. Pay people well. Don't be an ass.
All right, that's got to be true, right? All right, let's go with that one.
And even then, people still might leave for greener pastures. And you gotta let them. It is what it is. Have a backup plan. It's not their fault. It's actually insane to me how many people think that like a job is like you're committed to that job for the rest of your life. It is very rare that someone would keep the same job for the rest of their lives. So in terms of invested so much in training me to use QuickBooks 2 years ago. Okay, so it wasn't even recent. This was 2 years ago. Like it would be one thing if you went through the training process and like you're just starting this job, but like, no, this was 2 years ago. So today she scheduled me for a performance review next month. Performance review? Why would I want to sit down with someone I literally just like cut ties with so that they could review my performance? When I said I wouldn't be here, she looked genuinely confused and said,
What are you talking about? You never said anything about leaving.
Ooh. Okay, is she trying to say that you didn't say that in writing? I have the letter. I took a photo of myself handing it to her, but she's completely in denial. I don't know if she's denial. I think that she's just trying to say that you didn't like give notice. I feel like she knows. We'll see about that. Like, come on. I'm starting my new job Monday, whether she accepts my resignation or not. Just wondering if anyone's dealt with this level of delusion before. Do I need to send out another letter, email HR, or just stop showing up after Friday, let her figure it out? I mean, you've kind of already sent it. Like, you could like CC HR. Was this in an email? No, you gave her a handwritten, like you gave her a letter that was like printed out. Yeah, I would like follow up with like written notice. It always like makes me kind of uncomfortable when people do this, but I also do this, where you like, as per our discussion or as per our call, I have handed in my notice as of date. Thank you for my time at the company. I'm moving on to a different role and I start on Monday. So I will be leaving this position. Just make it clear and make it in writing, because like, damn, people really do be swinging their things around, especially when things aren't in writing. This is so bizarre. I've never had a boss just refuse to acknowledge reality like this. No, I think that she knows. I think that she just is trying to maybe force you to stay. Am I wrong in thinking that? Like, I feel like that's what's happening, no? Commenters are kind of saying, don't tell her where you're going. She could sabotage you. People are like, oh, you took a photo of yourself handing in your letter of resignation. And OP says, I knew she'd try to claim it never happened, so I documented it. Another commenter just kind of reiterated what I said, which is send a copy to HR. Tell them when you submitted it to your boss, CC the boss's manager too. It sounds like your boss isn't following protocol and will say you didn't give notice. That's exactly what's happening. That's for sure. Oh, here's an important detail that I feel like is important. Screenshot the photo of your camera roll where the date it was taken is included. So that's the amazing thing about like technology these days, is like you can swipe up. I don't know about Android, but you can swipe up on an iPhone and there's metadata for when you took the photo. Okay, it literally says there in the date and sometimes even location. So your bases are covered. So we do have an update. Thanks everyone for all the advice and support. You were right about documenting everything and covering my bases.
I know, I'm always right though. I'm always right, unless I'm wrong, but most of the time I'm right.
I sent a follow-up email to HR and CC'd my boss and her manager with a copy of my resignation letter and took the photo I took of myself handing it to her. Also included screenshots with timestamps like some of you suggested. Got a call from HR within an hour. Turns out this is the first time she's pulled this stunt. Apparently she did the same thing to someone else last year. They're handling it internally. Ooh. That's corporate speak for you're in trouble. Confirmed, my last day is Friday as originally planned. My boss finally acknowledged my resignation today, though she acted like she was doing me a huge favor by accepting it. Whatever.
As if.
I'm out of here in 2 days and starting fresh, somewhere that actually operates in reality. Thanks again for helping me navigate this insanity. Hey guys, it's all cool. It's cool. It's all cool.
Cool.
Like, sometimes I really wish that I could be in the corporate world just so that I know all the corporate nuance. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's keep screenshots, make sure everything's in writing, CC managers and CC lawyers. Oh God, it's good to be back at work. I can't imagine what the working environment was like that they preemptively took the photo of themselves handing in their resignation. Not once in my 15 years of working has it crossed my mind that I would need that type of backup. You're lucky, I'll just say that. It might be a little far-fetched, I will say, but this is why every call, every conversation, especially about something important, has to be followed up with an email and timestamps. I have screenshots from literally 10 years ago, bestie. And Kelly's editing this video and she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Right, Kelly?
You're goddamn right.
I feel like... Do we have time for one more?
My former horrid coworker now reports to me. I love poetic justice. Several years ago, I worked with the most spiteful, troublemaking woman, Mary. Interesting choice of name. She and I applied for the same promotion and she got it. I was okay with not getting the job because it really wasn't part of my planned career path. I just wanted the extra money. She was not in my chain of command, but she seemed to think her promotion gave her the right to treat me badly. I swear, corporate nuance is so funny. It's literally just everybody bossing everybody else around.
I'm a big time bossy boss lady.
She would make snide comments about me to my coworkers, who thankfully knew what she was all about and would stand up for me. She would try to assign work to me. When I'd refuse, she'd run out to our mutual boss and complain until she got her way and I'd have to take on the extra work. I suspected for a while she was telling our boss lies about me, but I had no proof, so I kept my mouth shut. Eventually, I was promoted to another department. In the days before I went to my new job, it was apparent that someone was sabotaging my work. Data was changed on files I was working on, etc. Of course, I suspected her, but again, I had no proof.
Let me guess, you gonna get some proof, honey, aren't you?
It all came to a head when she announced to the entire office that I was actually the one who was sabotaging the computer system. Of course, nobody believed her, but it was very upsetting to me. It got so bad I made arrangements to go to my new job earlier than originally planned. For the next several years, Mary and I would have to work together on projects. I spoke to her as little as possible, and see ya was my motto. It was awkward, but manageable. During that time, I received several promotions and ended up as the director of my department. ASMR clap. There are about 50 people in my department and I mainly have contact with only the supervisors. I guess I'm known as the one to give problem employees to. I either get them to shape up or ship out. But I was very surprised when HR approached me about taking on Mary because she was about to be fired in her current job. Ooh, how the tables have turned. My initial reaction was hell no. I really felt I couldn't be impartial and give her a fair chance. Oh, come on, it'll be so fun. But I pretty much wasn't given a choice. What's worse, I couldn't pawn her off to one of my supervisors. Because of the work she did, she would have to report to me. Ooh, but come on, babes. That's so fun. That's so fun.
This is my torture chamber.
You don't find that fun? I do, and I'm just reading it. After resigning myself to have to take her on, I started dreaming of how I would exact my revenge. There were so many possibilities. I was almost giddy with anticipation. Ooh, see, we're seeing the silver lining. I love that. The sweetest revenge was on her first day. I called her into my office and gave her my come to Jesus message. Excuse me, what? Come to Jesus. Are you Jesus?
It's Jesus!
She came in with the most scared look on her face. I thought she was going to puke. I decided to have pity on her and start out softly. I asked her if she understood how she ended up here. She replied meekly, I guess it's karma. Oh, no, she did not. Ooh. Ooh. You could have knocked me over with a feather. I knew exactly what she meant, but I wanted her to say it. What do you mean? I asked. She then proceeded to apologize for everything she's ever done to me, including spreading lies and doing the sabotaging herself. God, I wish I was recording that. I was about ready to admit defeat in the revenge game, but then I thought of the very best next step. I told her ever so calmly, you know that you could be fired for that. I let that sink in until I saw the beads of sweat on her forehead. Then I said, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, you are going to decide your fate at this company. Oh, checkmate. You will not be able to blame me for what happens to you because it will be up to you to succeed or fail. It felt so much better than using my power over her to get my revenge. She's still working for me, but I don't think that will last much longer. Not because she's gonna be fired. She really has improved a great deal, but because being nice to me is so hard for her. I don't think she can stand it and we'll find another job, hopefully at another company. That is delectable.
Yummy.
You did such a good job, bestie. I can see why they promoted you to director. That was exactly what I needed to end this video. So satisfying indeed.
Subscribe!